Well, I'm Linda Wallers, and I'm the Region 9 CAB representative for Washington, Oregon, Alaska, Montana, and Idaho. I hope that's 5. I'm also the Washington State Federation Secretary and Webmaster and the Chapter Secretary, Vancouver Chapter Secretary, Membership Chair and Webmaster. So my time is pretty well taken up with NARF in my retirement, which I never expected, but over the last 2 years, it's filled the hours of pandemic time. When I was working, one of the things that I did for the last 15 years or so of my career was to train my fellow analysts in their new database software and help them with problems that they had. And so I'm picking that up again with NARF's AMS database and offering to create tutorials for members on various functions. You'll find that on our CAB website when that goes up live in, we hope, a couple of weeks on the NARF website. What we're going to do is we're going to look at we're going to do an overview of what Excel has as far as functions go. These are primarily functions that I have found and other people have found are very useful for using when you're working with AMS data. To begin with, where do you find these functions? Well, we're going to check out some of those menus. We hope that you're all familiar with the fact that you can save as, and print from this main menu. However, when you move over to the functions, the ribbon for Excel, you find all of the other functions that are useful, such as copy, paste, and cut. You can do this in more than just from the ribbon. You can also do a right mouse click, and you will get a copy, cut, and paste function. And you can also do a control button and the letter C to copy, and the control button and letter V as in Victor to paste. These are useful for working inside the spreadsheet. And then we have, for whatever reason, when they developed these spreadsheets for the member list specifically, all of the data was center aligned, and I find that extremely annoying. So this is where you're going to look on the home ribbon to realign all of your data to the left if that's where you like it, or to the right if you prefer. Sometimes you get long strings of addresses, and you might want to wrap those strings into so that it all appears on a single page if you're going to print. If you have a really long address, you might want to print you might want to have the city and state underneath the city, the street address. And you do that by wrapping your text and then nudging your column width. And then this is formatting your cells or your columns. And I find this really useful because sometimes they're very small, very short. So you can adjust the row height of your spreadsheet or the column width. If you don't want to do a select and pull, you can do it from here and actually state a particular figure to make it like a 15-point row height or 30-point column width. I'll show you these when we get into the spreadsheet. I just want you to know where to find them. This is where you would select either a portrait or a landscape orientation, and this is under the page layout function ribbon. And then something that we all find extremely useful is under data, which if you select the filter, it will let you create a drop-down menu for the column you select, or for all of your columns if you select the entire spreadsheet. And once again, I'll show you that when we get into the spreadsheet. And you can also then sort the information inside the columns. And freeze panes is really useful because you have column headers, and sometimes you have a very long list of members. You want to make sure that you always see the column header as you scroll down. So you would freeze that very first row, and then it will stay in place as you scroll down your membership list. Then the last thing I want to say is that there are tabs at the bottom of the Excel spreadsheets, and you can always add a new tab by selecting the little plus here. I use these extensively because I already have hundreds of Excel spreadsheets. They're all 1- and 2-page spreadsheets in my hard drive, and it really sucks up a lot of space. So what I've started to do over the last couple of years is combine all of my 1 year's worth of M112 information, our chapter activity report, onto a single spreadsheet for the entire year. And that'll be easier then for me to transfer to a new officer rather than to send 12 different copies of Excel with a single sheet on them.